Welcome to the Darkercide podcast. This is a podcast where we delve into the darker side of our existences. The morbid and the macabre, the spooky and the absurd. We will cover a wide range of topics from aliens and the paranormal to conspiracy theories and social injustices and atrocities to monsters, both the cryptids and the monsters of man, to cults and all the many other things that lurk in the darker side. I'm your host, David Pottle, and with me is my very young, multi-talented, very passionate, and always lovely co-host, Forrest Smith.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How are you tonight, Forrest?
I don't know. Feeling awesome, I guess. How about you?
I'm good. Are you excited about doing this podcast?
Hell yeah.
You ready?
You ready?
I am. So, along a few years ago, my wife met this gentleman by the name of Forrest. They were working together, and through the years, Forrest and I have become close friends, and
Yeah.
we're both into the weird and the interesting and the dark. Forrest is a huge fan of horror movies, and what do you
Massive fan.
you like yeah. I'm not a big fan of horror movies, which is funny, but I am very interested in conspiracy theories and serial killers and murderers and all these other stupid, crazy, fucked up things that our world has to offer for us as either entertainment or knowledge.
Stuff you can't go to sleep.
No. So through the years, Forrest and I, we've come to just talk about these things. And a short while ago, I'm like, well, why don't we do a podcast about it?
Fuck yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Wasn't really sure at first, but didn't know what it would entail. But we've been working on it for a while. We've got a good episode, I hope, for you guys. It's for the first one here. Forrest, you ready? You excited?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Thanks, and everybody coming to listen to this, and welcome to the darker side.
Welcome.
So we're going to start off with a couple news stories here. We'd like to hit you with a few fucked up, crazy, I don't know, out of this world or just brutally disgusting news stories. First one we got this week right here is a story that I found, and here it goes. It's here's the title: Serial pedophile with 300-year sentence freed on a technicality and won't have to register as a sex offender.
What?
Yep. It reads here, a convicted pedophile who was sentenced to 300 years for sexually assaulting 6 children has been freed from Arkansas Valley Correctional Facility in Colorado.
What?
Michael McFadden, 46, was released on Tuesday after the Colorado Court of Appeals decided his right to a speedy trial had been violated. McFadden's trial, which was scheduled for 2015, was delayed past the statutory requirements, and courts ruled that he could not be retried.
Wow.
That's fucked up. Everybody knows that this piece of shit sexually assaulted 6 children.
Oh my god.
And because some bullshit technicality, this fucking prevert, this horrible person gets to walk around and potentially diddle some more kids in the future?
Do they have rape kit evidence?
I don't know. I really let's see here.
Fuck.
Oh, geez. It says McFadden was released from the custody and will not have to register as a sex offender because his convictions were vacated. We are without remedy, Dr. Rubenstein, Mesa County District Attorney, or Dan Rubenstein, Mesa County District Attorney, told the Grand Junction Daily Sentinel. The thing that is so frustrating is that everybody agrees that every decision was made to the benefit of protecting the rights of a speedy trial. Convicted child sex offender Michael McFadden, who was sentenced to 300 years, was released from the Colorado prison on Tuesday because of a legal technicality screenshot. After his conviction and sentencing in 2015, McFadden's lawyer sought to add provisions in the juror questionnaire which delayed the trial. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely...
What?
Wow. I can't get over this. Dave Waiters, the prosecutor of the case, said that the trial in 2015 was traumatic for the victims, who were predominantly young boys. McFadden befriends people who have young kids, and then he gets them into situations where he has access to those kids, and he grooms them pretty heavily, what it said.
Oh my god.
I don't think I can read it anymore. This is fucking piece of shit.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Got off.
No, I mean, this type of shit happens every day. We live in a crazy... Our judicial system is just so either tied up with bullshit or just doesn't have the funds to properly, try these pieces of shit. And these fuckers walk on out of courts on a daily basis across this country on technicalities.
It's funny you say that, because my mom works in the social worker business. She has, she's a doctor. And she tells me she used to come home crying all the time, saying, like, there's registered sex offenders that shouldn't even be registered because they just happen to be dating someone a couple years younger than them when they're like 18, 19 years old.
Or took a piss because they had a couple too many pops down at McDougal's fucking pub and grill or whatever.
Yep.
And they go outside because the fucking toilet is full.
And the jungle gym's right across the street from the school.
Right. And the wrong person or the wrong cop or somebody catches them and they're fucked. They're going to register as a sex offender. It's fucking bullshit, man.
And I've heard that, like, especially, like, certain states in New England are really, really crazy about that crap.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, you got a news story for us, Forrest? The second one here?
Yeah. So the title of this story is Outspoken Neo-Nazi Teen Kills Girlfriend's Parents and Then Shoots Self, which happened Monday, December 25th of 2017. Virginia teen was charged with murdering his girlfriend's parents after they forbid their daughter from seeing her boyfriend.
What a pussy. Come on, dude.
Who they believed was a neo-Nazi. The 17-year-old shot Buckley Kuhn Fricker, age 43, and her husband Scott, age 48, at their Reston home where family members had gathered to celebrate the Christmas holiday. Friday, the Washington Post reported. The teen then turned the gun on himself, but survived, and supposedly was currently in a hospital in critical condition.
I don't want anybody to die, but this kid is a fucking wacko. What a moron. You won't let me see my daughter, so I'm gonna go and kill you in your sleep while you sleep.
Oh, I can't imagine. This guy was 17 years old.
But he got into their house. Did the daughter let him into the house, or did he put it? Do you know?
I really don't know. I tried looking up updates to this, and there wasn't many updates.
It's fucking crazy, though. Do you know what kind of proof that they had that he was? They just wouldn't let the daughter see him.
Yeah.
Because they said that he had ties to neo-Nazis, or
possibly,
or that was the thing, or whatever. What if it was just the girl? What if it was just the daughter, right? Who fucking just came up with an excuse to not want to see this piece of shit anymore, right?
Oh my god.
And then her fucking parents get killed because of it. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
That would be fucked up.
Wow. If I got killed because of one of my kids, I'd be so pissed at them. I'm gonna haunt those fuckers till the day they die.
Till they die, right?
They'd be like,
what's this demon following me?
I fucking died because of you. I fucking died because of you. Little piece of shit.
I do the same thing. Holy shit, like, you little fucking little fucking devil.
I'm coming after you. You're never gonna sleep.
I'd fucking do that, man. Holy shit, that fucking rat.
That's crazy, though, man.
Yeah.
That's a whack. And so, no other updates or anything on his condition or anything like that.
He was charged with 2 counts of murder on I guess the Saturday after.
Yeah.
And the police, I guess, didn't identify a motive in the shooting. Friends and family did make it clear that the couple disapproved of their daughter's budding romance with the shooter. Friends and relatives said Kuhn Fricker was alarmed when she found messages she believes were from her daughter's boyfriend that praised Hitler and called for a white revolution, the Washington Post reported.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember when times were simpler. when we didn't have, like, parents didn't have access to, like, social media. Parents just should have never checked this kid's Facebook page. Poor people. That's such a horrible thing.
White power.
And then the parents get killed by him.
Yep.
God damn.
Yeah, how weird is that, right?
What a wonderful fucking dark world we live in.
He was also reported that he insulted Jews and gay people.
Wow, he's such a winner.
I'm out of luck.
I've got so much hate in my blood. I just hate everybody on the social medias. And then he kills his fucking girlfriend's parents.
Yeah.
What a moron.
Yeah, she has to live with it, but who knows? She could have planned it with him. Who knows if she never spoke?
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. All right, so that's our news stories for the day. We've got a couple other things here we like to do. This next segment is where I basically read a piece of creepypasta. Do you know what creepypasta is?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so you know. I mean, you see the darker sides of the web, or the silly dark side, or whatever, you know. Just the silly macabre. So creepypastas is stories of weirdnesses and just funny bullshit sometimes.
Things that I've never talked about.
Yeah. I've got one today. The story, or the creepypasta, is called Branches in the Wind. Branches in the Wind. Think about it.
Sounds crazy. I camp a lot. So
with the wind across the glass, all right? Finally, I'm home. After working a late night, I finally finished a project that my boss pushed me on. It was all worth it, though, because I had a great day ahead of me. The part I was most excited for, though, was seeing my son. I finally won the custody battle against my ex-wife, so now I actually get to see him. I fixed up my old spare bedroom for him, although it looked bland and all white.
Uh-oh.
I figured he would have some spare time later and we could make any changes he wanted. I lumbered up the stairs, and when he finally heard I was here, he quickly called me into his room. "Daddy, I can't sleep. There's a monster in the window." "Monsters, huh? That's original for a kid." "Oh, don't worry about that. It's just the tree branches blowing in the wind, see?" I pointed and showed him the branches tapping against the window pane. He trusted me enough to calm himself down, and I kissed him goodnight. Finally, time for sleep. I could hardly even see straight at that point. I walked across the hallway and collapsed into my bed. I had too much on my plate to be dealing with monsters. I had to go with him to school the next day to get him signed up for our district. I had to buy him school clothes. I couldn't even think straight. That's when I heard him calling again. "Man, I love the kid and all, but I need some sleep." "Daddy, the monster is back again," he shrieked. I looked to the window. Nope, nothing was there. Branches. I walked over and proved it to him. I opened the window and I turned back to him. "See? It's nothing but a tree. I told you. Now go to sleep. You've got school in the morning." Now, sidebar here. I know what this fucking guy's going through. I've got a 5-year-old. And this is me.
Oh my god.
All right, back to it. You've got school in the morning. He is still a little startled from what I could see, but what could I do? I was just too damn tired. Again, I fell into the comfort of my bed. Then I heard a cry. And I had just enough. "Fine. I'll just sleep in your bed with you. If you see any monsters, just hold me tight." I walked back into his room, pulled back his red blanket, and I lay down next to the kid. While I lay, eyes closed, my mind started wondering, didn't I buy white sheets for the bed? I looked at my son's slit neck and realized my mistake. That's when I heard the monster, except it wasn't tapping on the glass. It was the footsteps from the open window. I couldn't help but laugh. How didn't I realize? I had no trees in my yard.
What the fuck? What? Oh my god. The award of the year goes to.
I love creepypasta. It's so ridiculous.
So he realizes. Okay, wait, hold on. First off, he realizes the sheets were not the same color.
Yeah, once he laid down with his son and pulled the sheets over him, he realized that they were red sheets, but he didn't realize that he hadn't bought his son red sheets. He had bought him white sheets until they had laid down a while.
Bled out.
And that's when he noticed his son's slit throat.
And
then he saw the monster in the room, and it was the monster, and he's like laughing to himself because they don't have trees in the yard.
So he was laughing before he
before he got killed by the monster.
This would be like in a horror movie. I feel like, by like, I don't know, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, but a funny fucked up movie, not like
M. Night Shyamalan type shit.
But with like a Key and Peele flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy.
I could see that movie. That movie would be great.
It's creepy though.
It is a little creepy.
And hilarious. Reminds me of Krampus a little bit.
Yeah.
If you've seen that movie.
I've seen bits and pieces, and God, I don't want to see the whole thing. But we'll probably see it when we do our Christmas episode. Yeah. You'll make me watch it again. I don't like horror movies.
It's not really horror, though. The whole cast is pretty much from comedies.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still got a darker theme to it. And I'm not super into gore and stuff. I mean, I'll watch it. I like to hear about it, like through either reading or like podcasting or whatever, but I just can't. These fucking movies, especially some of them out there, like Paranormal 3. You're gonna have to convince me. You're gonna have to convince me to sit through the second 2/3 of that movie.
Oh my god, the last half of it was so fucked up.
I can't. We're sitting here in my house in the dark, and I don't want to think about it right now, Forrest. But let's. Speaking of movies, our little show here, we are going to do a movie review for every episode. And in recent developments, the Oscars just happened, right? The Academy Awards.
Yep.
And the movie that we chose to do for this week's episode is Get Out. A very, very wonderful movie. Get Out. Let's see here. Get Out is first aired on January 24th in 2017 in the Sundance Film Festival. It was written and directed by Jordan Peele.
Yeah, Jordan Peele.
And like we just said, just recently won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. And awesome. I think it was also up for Best Movie, Best Film.
I believe so.
And I think he was also nominated for another one, Best Actor, I think.
I think so, yeah.
All right. And so, well, let's see what we're going to see. It has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
And it has a 7.7 on IMDb.
It's a little underrated on IMDb.
I think so, too.
I like IMDb, but...
All right. So this movie is what? It's basically, what do you call it, like a psychological thriller type of... horror film?
I'd say it's a mystery, too. It's a pretty good mystery. I mean, I guess some people could pick up on it halfway through.
I didn't pick it up until about 3/4 of the way, what really was going on. I mean, I could foresee it, but I didn't want to...
The trailers throw you off so much.
I didn't want to fucking... I originally watched this movie about 6 months ago when it came out on HBO, or 3 or 4 months ago, or whatever.
Nice.
I got to the point where... And there's going to be some spoilers here, so if you don't want to... But when
Spoiler alert.
The mother... sat him down after he went out for a cigarette, that part, do you remember that?
Sink into the floor.
Yeah, but I didn't even get to that point, and I'm like, I can't watch the rest of this movie. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. There's some crazy white fucking bullshit's gonna happen, and this poor gentleman is going to have a bad ride.
He's in country land.
This is so fucking crazy, and just how deep he got into that, and then I think Jordan, watching this movie, I didn't really wasn't too frightened. It wasn't like a true horror slasher type film.
Yeah, I would classify it as true horror.
No, definitely more on the vein of the psychological, just getting in your mind fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
it was
like movie. You know,
very symbolic.
And I mean, coming from Jordan Peele, you know, as an African American, this story is just the way he tied it all in, without being overt about it, and I think he did a wonderful job. And I do believe, after watching this movie, that best original screenplay for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, without a doubt. I mean,
shooting was great.
Because I like to write. I've written some screenplays just for fun or for college and everything, and I've had a wonderful time doing it. But it's a difficult thing, and to be that original and creative and to get that story so wonderfully well put, and then to direct it on top of it. Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Good job, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, right,
I would, out of 1 to 75 trillion schmeckles.
Yep.
I give it an A+.
I'd give it like a 9, probably 9.5.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it an A+ out of 1,000 schmeckles. That's what I give it. I like that movie. I think it's really good. I think
it's his first horror, technically. Dark movie, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, his other films and such were fun and good. And
Keanu.
Yeah, I mean, just Jordan Peele. But Get Out. So when the shit started to hit the fan in that movie,
the cop pulled him over. I just
at the end. Oh, in the beginning. All of that racial tension that built up is obviously leading to something even more gruesome, other than just overt, outright racism.
It kind of throws you off though, because the family's like uber left. They're like super, like, you know.
Of course, but it also like it allows you to just see that, you know, not everybody is either good or bad. You know, we can't. The left they're evil. There's evil on the left. There's evil on the right.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter how conservative or liberal are you. There's going to be fucking evil.
Yeah.
And in just the whole like. It is like it's
some awkward scenes too. Some very awkward scenes.
Oh yeah. I mean, but he's building that up to that tension to where he finally gets fucking zombified by that douchebag. I feel bad for the entire family, because you know that entire family was programmed too.
Like, I went into the theater knowing there was a backstory, but that kind of backstory, the last half of the movie, I was not expecting at all.
No way. I had no idea. No idea. I knew some fucked up shit was going to happen, but I had no idea where that movie was going to go. And I think he did a wonderful job. I don't get why people are like so harsh on it. I can see, I mean, it's pretty controversial stuff.
Apparently IMDb was a little harsh.
But I'll tell you what. That would have worked. I think it would have worked if the roles were reversed just as well.
Yep.
You know, I think it's a good story, regardless of the tension. You're going to have that type of tension. The tension in this film just happened to have a white versus black or type of theme to it. And I don't think it takes away from the entire story. I think it just adds to it, honestly. I think I think he did a great job.
Yeah. And the other crazy thing is that I believe he said something about how he was writing it for like a few years, because every few months he would put it down and be like, this is never going to sell.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I think when he finally said, I'm going to do it, I'm Jordan Peele, why the fuck not do it?
Yeah. He picked the perfect time to publish it.
Absolutely.
Perfect time.
I'm 100% with you there. Because if he had done it any earlier, I think something would have happened, and he wouldn't have been able to do it. He wouldn't have found the producer. He wouldn't have been able to put up the money.
Yeah.
But I think he pulled the trigger right at the perfect time to where it would work out. And you know what? It is the perfect time.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time for these types of awesome, amazing things to happen. So
fucked up.
It's so good. It's so good.
Even during the auction, I had no idea, like, throughout that whole scene that it was about him until they showed the picture.
And I wanted to shoot her so bad after she kept him down there during the whole auction.
I didn't realize throughout the movie how much of a manipulative bitch she was. And
I wish I could have done what he did to her.
There was clues throughout the whole movie, too. If you watch it again, there's clues.
Oh, of course. Of course.
I didn't pick up on any of it. Even when she's searching through her damn bag, towards the end, where she's like, I can't find the keys, I can't find the keys. I still, and yeah, like throughout the whole freaking movie, I never realized all those clues that led up to her being such a manipulative bitch.
Yeah, no, and like you were saying, the keys part.
Yeah,
just like,
until then, she was
so
going through her damn bag.
This is where this idea came from. We're going to do, if we could best to review this movie in 4 words. So every movie review that we're going to do it at the end of the review. We're going to say our best review in 4 words. Now, Forrest, how would you review this movie in just 4 words?
I love this film. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's a true one. No, it's perfect. It's a good review. I mean, you could say it that way. You want to hear mine?
What?
Get out. Get out.
Get out. Get out.
The entire fucking time. After that, when she couldn't fucking get the keys, I'm like, get out. Get out.
See, I didn't pick up on that. She was upstairs trying to find it, and then she's on the stairs trying to find it.
She knew he was in the closet. Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Oh, you bitch. Oh, it made me so mad. It made me so mad.
I was surprised at that scene when he goes through the other pictures. I'm just like, oh my fucking
God.
God.
Lord. Oh my God.
At full, I thought that she thought that he was just dumb enough to not know how much, I don't know, how much damage she could do, I guess.
Right.
I wasn't aware of it until literally she was going through her damn freaking purse. I'm like, oh, she did that upstairs, and now she's on the stairs doing it again.
You better get to think, like, I think the mom maybe had hypnotized and controlled these people from the mom and dad are just too dubious, and you got to know that their kids are just as programmed as these other people that
they like to have control.
Oh, exactly. And I think when you find out that who the grandparents were,
yep,
the original doctor who did this,
it's crazy shit.
Oh my God,
crazy, out of this world.
You destroyed my home. Crash. Oh my God.
I just and then it's just when that whole part of the film where he ends up being in the room tied up to the chair and the camera's just panning down from the lights and it's like an artsy shot.
No, I love the shots, man. I think he's a great. I think the camera work, everything on there was just done perfectly.
Great. Everything was on point.
And like
even
the shots, the single shots where he's what was the main actor's name? Do you remember?
I know he was just in that recent film.
Yeah, but he would do those shots on him, and then he would react to these people being fucking weirdly, like
the other black guy too with the hat.
Oh, and then just know when the white people would say stupid shit to him, like when they would pan over to his face, it just like the shots, the cuts were perfect. I don't know.
He did a lot of long takes.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and I think he did a wonderful job. I think his Oscar is well deserved. He
definitely
should have
got it.
Gotten maybe a couple others, whatever. But hey, man, Jordan fucking Peele, love that guy.
Yeah,
huge fan, and congratulations to him. Amazing.
Him.
Again, I give it an A+ out of 300 bajillion schmeckles. And Forrest, what do you give it?
I give it like I'd say a 9.5 out of 10.
All right, and then again, my 4-word review is get out. And yours was, Forrest? I think it was I love this film.
I love this film.
Good. It's a good one. All right, guys, we're going to move on to our next segment here. And this one here eventually is going to be like a bigger chunk of our segment time. We're going to get some researchers done this and maybe another co-host eventually. But right now, I'm going to, basically what we're going to do this next segment is either going to be, we're going to do a serial killer style story, or we're going to do like a cryptid cryptozoology type story or an alien or abduction or something like a bigger story.
Ooh, alien abductions. Okay.
So we're gonna hit that this week. We're here. I'm gonna call it the Cryptid Corner. We are going to discuss a little place not far up the road from us, Forest, in the state of Massachusetts, where we're actually recording, but
Crazy.
a few miles away, east of us, in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, there's this phenomenon, this paranormal and cryptid filled area called the Bridgewater Triangle.
I think that one movie was technically based in it, even though they didn't shoot it there. Oh my God, it's on Netflix or Hulu. It's the Grave Encounters.
Quite possibly.
I think
I'm
so.
not 100% sure if you're right on that. I mean, we can always fact check ourselves later.
Yeah, definitely. I think so.
Well, I'm going to read something here and just give you a brief description of what goes on here.
Crazy shit.
The Bridgewater Triangle refers to an area about 200 square miles within the southeastern Massachusetts in the United States, claimed to be the site of alleged paranormal phenomena ranging from UFOs to poltergeists, orbs, balls of fire and other spectral phenomena, various Bigfoot-like settings, giant snakes, and thunderbirds.
Oh my God.
In Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
But I mean, you have to. This area has a crazy history.
It does.
Yeah. It's let's see here. So back in the colonial times, the colonists and the local Indians at the time, the Wampanoag Indians, were vowing for land. And we came to a treaty with the local Wampanoag king, which we called King Philip. So you've ever heard of the King Philip's War?
Yep.
No, that's what took place in this area. Yeah, the King Philip's War was a war between the colonists and King Philip, the Indian, and the Wampanoags. And basically what we did is we broke the treaty. And we just went on a tear and decided to just decimate all the Wampanoags and kill them all off as best we could. The colonists. I'm speaking from the white perspective because I'm fucking white. We were like, we're going to do what we do as colonists. We're white Europeans. We're going to come over here, fucking take back everything that we fucking, just destroy it all.
Burn it all.
Take what's not ours and say that it is.
Yeah.
And in the name of God or king, whatever. So this historical battle takes place in there, and they say that King Philip, when they were fleeing, he went into this forest, and when he ended up dying, cursing this area. It's part of the legend. You can't say for sure, but like over the years, people, there are certain areas of this triangle, like Hockomock Swamp.
I've heard of it.
Central to the area is the Hockomock Swamp, which means the place where spirits dwell. Now, this is the name given by the Wampanoag tribes, that lived in this area for years upon years upon years. Even they were afraid of this area, but knew how to navigate it because they were obviously, with with nature and their place of dwelling. Yeah, their spirits and stuff. But I just think it's crazy that they called it this, knowing full well that it wasn't a fucking normal part of the area. I believe in these hot spots all across the planet, man, where this paranormal activity is drawn to, whether it be ley lines or, portals or whatever, spectral, thinness in the veils between different universes or, multiverses or whatever, parallel universes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's so
I believe in that. I've seen too much crazy fucking fucked up shit in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Paranormally, UFOs, cryptids. I've seen some stuff that I just can't explain.
Yeah, we've seen one here.
Yeah, we actually, this was, we were talking about that tonight. It was this summer.
Yep.
We were outside.
August or July.
Yeah, we were outside my house, and we were just looking up. We saw this thing in the sky that...
It's a balloon.
No, it's not moving like a balloon, dude. It's moving very fucked up.
It was weird. It was such a weird thing.
It wasn't moving in any type of ballistic movement. It wasn't moving away a plane or jet or anything moves. And all of a sudden, it just specked out. It was gone. Weird. So, we're a few miles away. 50 miles away, I think, from the Bridgewater area, but we still see some crazy shit around here. And,
South Central Mass.
But there's another place they call Dighton Rock, also found within the boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle is the Dighton Rock. The Freetown Fall River State Forest was reportedly been a site of various cult activities, including animal sacrifices, ritualistic murders committed by admitted Satanists. Fucking leave the Satanist alone.
Yeah, right?
Satanists are not killers, people.
Let them worship
Satan.
I
have tons of friends that are Satanists, and I know for a goddamn fact they're not ritually killing anybody. That's some bullshit perpetrated by the fucking churches.
Hail Satan.
Yeah, fucking hail Satan. Not to be... Yeah, just hail Satan. I'm not a Satanist, but don't fucking... They're good people.
Yeah, just
as well as a number of gangland murders and a number of suicides there. As I was saying before, Profile Rock, the supposed site of where Wampanoag historical figure Anawan received the lost wampum belt from Philip. So that's what happened. Is Philip had this belt called the wampum belt, and apparently it had some mystical properties, and the gentleman who was leading the charge against the Wampanoags to kill them off wanted this belt. And wampum was like a source of power or money. Wampum was also called their money.
Right.
Lost the wampum belt from Philip. Legend has it is that the ghost of the man can be seen sitting on the rock with his legs crossed with outstretched arms. Again, that's located in the Freetown. Common to the most of these areas is a mix of reported phenomena that include reports of UFOs, mysterious animals and hominids, ghosts and poltergeists. Bigfoot. There have been several reported sightings of Bigfoot-like creatures in the triangle, usually near the Hockomock Swamp.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean, can you imagine just like this crazy, like dark, and then just these weird hominids, Bigfoot type creatures. That would be cool to go see, though. I'd, go in there with your camera and try to get you some Squatch or whatever.
Oh my god, yeah.
Get you some Sasquatch sightings, but I wouldn't want to get hit by a rock or a tree branch by one of those fuckers at all. No way. Apparently, there's been giant birds or pterodactyl-like flying creatures with wingspans to 8 to 12 feet are claimed to have been seen in the Hockomock swamps in neighboring Taunton, Massachusetts. Including a report by Norton Police Sergeant Thomas Downey. He's apparently claimed that he's seen one of these creatures, either a large pterodactyl or thunderbird type of creatures.
I have a friend that lives in Norton.
We're out in Taunton or?
In Norton.
In Norton, yeah.
She lives like in the middle of nowhere, but near Taunton, I believe.
Yeah. Various incidents of animal mutilations have been reported, particularly in Freetown and Fall River, where local police were called to investigate mutilated animals believed to be the work of a cult. 2 specific incidents in 1998 were reported, one which a single adult cow was found butchered in the woods, the other in which a group of calves were discovered in a clearing grotesquely mutilated as it part of a ritual sacrifice. But I mean, you could say any of these types of like mutilations, or what if it was aliens? Why does it have to be a part of a ritual sacrifice?
Yeah, right. Could be.
The fucking devil had nothing to do with this, people.
Right.
But aliens did.
Could be, yeah. You never know what kind of shit.
But I mean, stop blaming Satanists and ritual and voodoo and all these other things. They're not killing These big
Stupid.
animals, they're killing chickens and fucking rats.
Right. Oh my god, I just find that crazy. I drive through Fall River to go to my mom's house. She lives like 15 minutes from there.
Yeah, I mean, Fall River's it's one of those places that it's got a lot of history. I mean, it's connected to this whole area, so I mean, we live in New England, man. There's a lot of fucked up, crazy, brutal history
New England.
in this area, According to one tale, the Native Americans have cursed the swamp centuries ago because of poor treatment they received from the colonial settlers, as I stated. A revered object of the Wampanoag people, a belt known as the Wampum Belt, was lost during the King Philip's War. Legend says that the area owes its paranormal unrest to the fact that this belt was lost from the native peoples. This belt basically tied the people to the land, and because the people lost it, that area has been cursed from that point on.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's fucking cool, though. I mean, how seriously Hollywood is this story?
Yeah.
Go to 100 years later, all of a sudden, guy's walking his dog through this swamp because he's a fucking weirdo and he's got a dog in the 1800s, whatever. And something comes out of the mist. Some crazy creature, some cryptid. You can see the movie. I'm
Holy
thinking.
crap, that's just creepy anyway.
Yeah, there's another creature that people say up there. There's like this cliff that overlooks the area. And people have... There's like a giant suicide rate that happens here where people will actually fall and jump off this rock.
Oh my god.
And a lot of people say that they go up there and that they never really wanted to kill themselves, but these creatures, what they call puckwudgies, they're like little hominids, like little hairy creatures in the area. They're called... I just love the word puckwudgie.
Puckwudgie.
I also like wampanoag and wampum.
Wampum and wampanoag.
I love Massachusetts words. But these puckwudgies will like push you off or get you to jump off.
Huh.
And there's these crazy.
That's weird.
They're tied to the Wampanoag people, that they're part of their folklore and part of their history in there. But I think it's kind of great.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun. What do you think about all that? All this, having this crazy paranormal stuff happen in our backyard like that?
I don't know. I've always I have thought about it. Like, why is all this crap happening? Even in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Like, I have family in Connecticut that, in central and northeastern Connecticut, they all report the weirdest crap.
No, I mean, but you have to think about the brutal history of the New England area, especially during the colonial periods and even prior to that, because the populations of the Indian or the native persons on this land prior to Columbus and everybody else coming here were mostly warring people, because they were they moved around, and if other tribes were, they'd have to fight, and I mean there was but they were also settled and in their ways, but I couldn't imagine what they thought when the white men showed up. But they have a history of brutality, because once we got here, we decided that we're going to take what we believe is ours, and then we just cursed all of this land.
Pretty much.
In every New England town that I've ever lived in, I've seen and felt some paranormal shit.
I'm not gonna lie. I've heard some really weird things outside my house and on the other side, in Connecticut. And I looked up. I even looked up weird owl sounds, different kinds of owl sounds, and none of those things sounded like what I've heard over the last few years. Right. It's just strange.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, that I think that's interesting. I like that we've got some crazy stuff in our neighborhood, in our backyard, and I think it's fun. All right, so we've got the next topic that we got here, everybody, is a little segment that I came up with, and I like the idea. I'm happy with it, and I hope Forrest will be as well. This is a good little little segment here. Forrest is a very passionate young fella.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a need on a very frequent basis to vent or rant about the darker things going on in the world. And this segment is called Getting Lost in the Forest, where we let Forrest rant about whatever dark or horrible thing he wants to for 2 minutes.
Yep.
So he gets to talk about whatever injustice, whatever horrible thing, whatever creepy thing, whatever thing that he wants is and is most passionate and which is rubbing him raw that week or whatever it is that Forrest wants to do. He's going to talk about it for 2 minutes, and this again is called Getting Lost in the Forest.
What really grinds my gears? Right.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Okay. So yeah, this thing I just stumbled upon. It's recent, March 8th of 2018. So it's kind of off, the hot press a little bit. So HRC responds to anti-LGBTQ the First Amendment Defense Act proposed by GOP senators. A bill was introduced by Senator Mike Lee, a Republican in Utah, who called for the First Amendment Defense Act, FATA, which I believe was ended not long ago by President Obama. That was actually a bill that I guess presidents like Bush was a huge endorser of, which seeks to permit discrimination by individuals, many businesses, and nonprofit organizations against same-sex couples, single parents, and unmarried couples. The bill, co-sponsored by 21 Senate Republicans, would bar the federal government from ameliorating discrimination against same-sex couples, single parents, and unmarried couples when an entity evokes a sincerely held religious belief or moral conviction. Under FATA, individuals, many businesses, and nonprofit organizations using taxpayer funds could openly violate non-discrimination policies or refuse to serve same-sex couples. As long as they claimed their actions are based on their belief about marriage, the government would have little recourse. I just think there is a little bit more to it, but I just think to bring up an order like this, sometime after it's actually been struck down, when it's been up for so many years since the Clinton campaign, Clinton presidency. I think it's just a waste of fucking money, taxpayer money. We shouldn't be paying attention to this kind of crap. There was something else I wanted to point out. The FATA would roll back, potentially in this state, FATA would roll back critical protections for LGBTQ people and their families. And supposedly it actually overrides it overrides federal laws. Basically the state seems like they're just trying to fight back for what they believe in over the higher branch of government. And I think that's, in a way, kind of bullshit. I don't know.
That's all right, Forrest. That's all right.
It makes me just angry for something like this to come back when it's been said to be unconstitutional.
Right.
So it's just like...
Well, that's Forrest's take on that issue, that current thing that's grinding his gears, as he'd like to say.
Pretty much.
Rubbing him the wrong way.
That's Utah, everybody.
Taking the sand in his craw, But, well, thank you, Forrest. Thank you for getting us lost in the forest. And,
thank you.
Can't wait for your next rant next week.
Definitely.
All right, everybody. Well, that is basically the format of the show. This is what we're going to be doing every week here on the Darkercide podcast.
The Darkercide podcast.
The Darkercide podcast, where we discuss the darker side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am David Pottle. You can find me David Pottle on Facebook. You can also find my band at Frenemy, FRNEMY Providence, on the Facebooks and all the other social media websites. I am also on a podcast called Life, Relationships, and Everything Else with my other podcast partner, Kevin Spurrow. It's a great podcast. Check that out on all the podcast formats. Again, that's Life, relationships, and everything in between. So check that out as well. And, we'll hit us up on all of our different social medias. We will have our official sites coming on our next episode. And you can check that all out. Thank you guys for coming. And I had a wonderful time. And
yeah, me too.
Welcome to the darker side. And Forrest, what do you got for shout-outs here?
Oh, yeah. Don't mind me. I'm Forrest Smith. Video editor, technically. I got kind of a little bit of, I guess, like my own little business, I guess, with Forrest Films.
Your production company. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah,
fucking tell
company.
people. Don't be such a pussy about it.
Yeah,
I'm using the word pussy. I'm not talking about a vagina. I'm talking about the word pusillanimous, someone of weak character. Now stop being a pussy.
Yeah, right. Freaking, I'm on. I got on YouTube.
He's got the channels.
I'm on YouTube, Facebook. You can always look up Forrest Smith. I'm right on there. I do video stuff on the side. Very active politically. I work. I also work for a local news station, and yeah, now I'm doing podcasts, and sometimes I do videos for bands and stuff like that, and maybe even interviews and shit like that. So,
but they can find you, Forrest Smith, most likely on all the social media stuffs.
Oh yeah, Forrest Smith, Forrest Films. That's pretty much it. It's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that.
Cool. That's awesome, man. Forrest, I had a great time, man.
Me too.
We're
awesome.
Looking forward to the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everybody, we'll be back next week with another Darker Side podcast episode. Hope you have a wonderful night, and peace and love, and
Have a great night.